Ibis. The hardest part of working in a small restaurant is that every Wednesday night I have to push the large skip bin to the curb for trash pickup on my own. After a week's worth of throwing away half-eaten food and empty beer cans, the boss doesn't believe in recycling for some reason. The bloody thing becomes a hard-to-move nightmare. And on top of that, some of the locals throw their own rubbish in our skip, which is a huge problem. We tried to lock the thing, but they just broke the padlock. The boss, Mr. Johnson, wanted to call the cops on them, but ultimately decided it wasn't worth it. We still pay the same amount to keep it and get it picked up every week, so they can keep it up. My other problem is the bloody Ibis. We call them bin chickens. I'm not sure why this name has caught on, but maybe it has to do with that they hang out and eat our scraps. It's awful. They climb into the bins and tear into the bags, throwing the trash out of the bin and all over the ground. And then I have to pick it up. That's what makes Wednesday nights the hardest part of this job. The rest of it is fine. Eureka's Pizza and Pasta, a small Italian joint that is always busy. I clear the tables. Used to be dishwasher, but it became faster if I cleared the tables instead of the waitresses. Once the boss saw we could keep customers seated faster, he was all for giving me a promotion during open hours. Yeah, I still clean once we close. Kyle, can you take these out? Mr. Johnson dropped 2 black bags on the floor by the green exit door. I picked them up and went outside. Oh, come on. A half-eaten pasta bowl was scattered across the ground as a large grey ibis picked the bits of chicken from it. I threw one of the bags at the bird and watched it fly away. With a sigh, I threw the bags into the bin and started picking up the remains of the pasta. I heard the sound of wings and saw that a few ibis had landed outside the gate and were watching me pick up their mess. I opened the door to the kitchen to the sound of an argument. Sophie, I don't know what you think happened, but I promise you that whatever it was didn't happen. But it happened. That pervert grabbed my chest. He wasn't even subtle. Listen to me, Brandon is too busy running the kitchen to waste time grabbing people. What? Why aren't you listening to me? What he did was harassment. It's only harassment if he did it, which I doubt he did, but I'll talk to him. He'll just say he didn't do it. And maybe he didn't. Are you serious? Why are you taking his side? Sophie, I'm not taking sides here. I just wanted to hear both sides. I could hear Sophie getting more upset. I could see her playing with her ring. It was gold with a ruby embedded in it. We all knew the cook, Brandon, was a pervert. He had been accused of this before from some of the younger staff. Whenever someone complained about it, Mr. Johnson would always say he would look into it, and they have been fired because they didn't show up to work again. I slammed the door I had come in. The two stopped talking as I came into the room. Kyle, I double-checked the place and it's good. We can lock up for the night. He seemed happy to be out of that conversation. Mr. Johnson said he had to go to work in the office, so Sophie and I left before him. How much did you hear? A lot of it. I only slammed the door to stop you from going any further. Any further? Someone has to call him out on his harassment. Yeah, and people have, but those people all got fired. You said you need this job. I know, but this doesn't feel right. He groped my chest. Not like brushed his hand, but full-on squeezed. He'll get what's coming to him. He hasn't so far, but he will cross the line, and when he does, the whole place will be shut down because Mr. Johnson has been sweeping it under the rug. Why can't I be the one to bring that down on the restaurant? We all need to be employed right now, so once we are gone, then we can shut it down. Fair enough. If I didn't need this, I would quit. You working tomorrow? Yeah, the closing shift again. You? Opening shift. Thankfully that pig Brandon isn't coming in the morning. Alright, I'll catch you later. I gave Sophie a wave. I got in my car and sped off. When I showed up for work the next day, the place was in full swing. Good thing you're here a little early. We're down a waitress. What? Who's meant to be on? Greta, but I had to have her come in this morning. Wasn't Sophie meant to be working this morning? Yeah, but she never showed. There was a problem last night, and I guess she decided to quit because of it. We were talking last night, and she said she wasn't going to quit. Well, you know how women are. The cows can't make up their mind on anything. Now get out there, I need you to start serving and cleaning. With a sigh, I grabbed one of the little notebooks. It was about halfway through my shift when the only customers sitting outside, the young couple, let out a scream. I went outside and saw the two Ibis were hanging around the couple. One of them was being particularly brave and had landed on the table. It threw a piece of the couple's pizza down to its friend. Suddenly, Mr. Johnson was out there swinging a broom at the two birds. He hit one on the ground and both flew off. Oh my god, I'm sorry for this disturbance. He started to move, put his arms outstretched beside the couple, making an attempt to corral them inside. Please come with me. I'll get you set up inside and replace your whole meal on the house, of course. He was in full damage control mode as the couple followed him in. He glanced back at me. Clean up this mess. It wasn't a big mess, but I took it slow to eat up a few extra minutes of the shift. From that point on, the shift got easier. Another waitress showed up so I could focus on cleaning again. At the end of the shift, Mr. Johnson called me and the other two employees into the kitchen. Brandon, show them a new special we'd like to serve tomorrow. You guys are lucky. You get to try this before anyone else. We were all given plates of finely sliced red meat that had been marinated in a lemon mixture and seared until it was medium. The taste was phenomenal. I clearly wasn't the only one to think about it, as the others had finished theirs just as fast. We haven't thought of a name of it yet, but I can tell by the satisfied faces that it will be a big hit tomorrow night. Now it's time to close up. He hurried us out of the kitchen to clean up the restaurant. As I carried the trash bags out, I stopped. I was stopped by Mr. Johnson. I just wanted to ask, what cut of beef that special was made of? It's very hard to get cut. The cow has to be raised right in order to bring out the flavor. It's something we can only get once a year or so. He patted me on the shoulder and left the room. I took the trash bags out the back and saw the skip was covered in ibises. I dropped the trash bags and leant inside to get the broom. Fucking birds. I swung the broom wildly at them, landing a solid hit on a small one. Its long beak penetrated the trash bags by the side of the bin. When it got free, the bag tore open, and it flew off. As the sound of the bird trying to escape faded away, I looked down at the hand that had fallen out of the trash bag. On its ring finger was a gold ring with a single ruby embedded into it.